Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody out there? It's the Good Life Podcast, a kickback. It's your boy, Good Life for us. What up,
It's your
man?
boy Good Life Twan. Welcome back.
Welcome back. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. It's been a great week, man. Feel good outside. The sun finally out.
Been waiting for that. Been waiting for
Man,
spring for a while now, I feel like.
it's here. It's that time. It's grinding
Yeah,
time though. That's all that mean.
yeah, yeah. And that good old rebirth, things get to start over.
Yes, sir.
Miss Mona in the building. Happy Monday, Miss Mona.
On time. She on time.
Right on
Big
time.
shout out
Always
to
on
Mona,
time.
man. She been supporting us from day one.
That's facts. I love to see it. We're gonna talk about greed today, and there's
It's a dirty word,
so
boy.
so many lanes, so many levels that we can go to with this word. But the good thing is we're gonna talk about the good and the bad. We're gonna talk about both sides, and when it might behoove you to be greedy, you dig? So I think the most common is what we were talking about off air, the corporate greed. Most people have experienced some type of corporate greed. Mona said, "Ooh, greed is a bad motherfucker." Yeah, it is.
Hey, that motherfucker like cancer, boy.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
Detrimental to your survival, man. Like it's an
yeah,
ugly
it could
thing.
be for sure, and it's a lot of words that have negative connotations that we gonna see what the word actually means, and not just what I mean, feel away when we hear these words, because sometimes that can stifle us when people talk to us a certain way because they know words are triggering you.
Yeah, no,
So it's
that's a
always
fact.
best to figure out what a word mean to you, so you'll know if it's happening against you or it need to be happening for you. You dig?
Yes, sir.
How you feel about corporate greed, man? You said a little bit about how you feel. Break it down for us.
Corporate greed. I mean, honestly, being having been a person who done did both, I done worked in the field of being just an employee and I done worked in the field of being management. And I mean, as a manager, you really see how deep corporate greed can get. Like kind of that, scenario. Like a motherfucker crashed the boat just because they can't be the captain. Like when I think about corporate greed, that's kind of where my mindset go. And it's constantly about the people at top, the money they get and the money they making. Like they don't care if the ship's sinking. They don't care if everybody down there on the first floor drowning in the water. Like they still can see the sun. They can still see the top. They still up there enjoying they cocktail. Like when you get into a little more personal setting of it, I worked in a warehouse. I did it, many a times. But you watch and you see that, as management, in these corporations, they don't really care about the smaller people. You know, I hate to say it like that on a personal level, but that's kind of how it is. Business wise, they care about you showing up every day. You keep a number there, but they don't really care about you as a person. And I watched it, get a hold of so many people. Everybody need a job, everybody need to work, and you
Mm-hmm.
go to these places and you work and you work and you work and you watch them, mistreat you, misuse you, never look at you as anything other than a number, a clock in number. That this is employee 27, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and people spend their whole life chasing, a couple dollars for these companies just to die, and these companies literally not care nothing about you. They don't care about, oh man, this is a 3-man job and we got one person doing it for 20 years. That one person can handle it. That's how they look at it. It's greed, and they mindset, why are we going to go pay somebody else to come and help this person if we seen this one person function, at this magnitude, we able to keep making money off of them. Like, but that's dangerous. It's dangerous. And a lot of places don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and That was beautifully put. Well, beautifully put. And there's a couple comments. Jess said hit the nail on the head. Working in banking, and then as a manager, where I have to control my department, spreading pennies. The pennies these companies will pinch out of the cost of employees is sad, and also how they make their money. And Mona said, "Don't leave out price gouging and excessive CEO compensation, and they don't really care about you, just the almighty dollar." Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality about a lot of these companies these days, and a lot of these overnight success stories. Is they chasing money, you know what I mean, and chasing fame, and that has an expiration date. That's only gonna last for so long because the people you end up turning on is the ones keeping you up, one keeping you afloat.
That's a fact. That's definitely
And
a fact.
you've noticed lots of industries of titans go out of business in our lifetime. Places that people seen at one point like, oh, they never gonna close. You open your phone, they're like closing every store in a couple weeks. Come get it, get
90% off.
it.
Come shop.
Don't listen to your auntie. We are closing. We're done.
Nah, listen.
Come get this stuff.
It's scary when you think about the average person and go to work, and work in these settings, like, and they don't have to be, low, I wouldn't say low grade, but low quality jobs. Like you hear from a person saying working in banking, like, when you hear banking stuff like that, you think of a high end job. But it's like this in a lot of different settings of work. I don't really care what field you go in. Like, man, it's scary, man. When you start looking at corporation, it's very rare to find a company that care, especially when you talking about on that magnitude of a corporation. You might have some mom and pop jobs, and the owner might care about their employees. But I'm talking about on the magnitude of you actually being a corporation. So it's scary. Like I said, every day, if we cannot get away with giving you guys a raise, if we can keep y'all at this price range, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna do it until y'all ready to walk out. You know what I'm saying? We don't mind, y'all complaining. We'll take y'all complaining, you know what I'm saying, as long as y'all ain't leaving. When y'all start leaving is when we start changing, and that's scary because there's so many jobs that they literally wait till you've been there crying for 3 years. You need this done, you need that done. The moment you put your notice in, you know what I'm saying, and all of a sudden they ready to help fix some of these problems, which to a person like me, that's a slap in my face.
Yeah.
Like that lets me know I'm not valuable to you at all. You just look at me as a dollar. Now that I'm leaving, in your mindset, the only thing that you can think of right now is, well, he had a problem with this, let's try to fix it. Where if y'all cared and it wasn't about that almighty dollar, y'all start fixing some of these problems when we bring them up. And like I said, this is on a big spread of jobs. Like, this ain't a certain job, this ain't a certain field. Like, we talking about why, like, anything you could think of, like, it's happening every day.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the comfortability of business, and a lot of owners have this issue when they become owners of employees, and they're not the employee running their business, but they start seeing their 10 employees as, oh, they pushed 10,000 units this month. You feel me? So, and it made X amount of dollars. So, everybody know how they mind work. They're gonna be like, so if we would have moved 15, how much would that be?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me
Hey,
send this memo around. Everybody, we pushing 15 this week.
hey, and
And it
look
can
at
be
the
that
look,
simple for them
and
because
look
they
at the
not
little
doing the
man like
work.
nothing.
So they not tired. They not sweating. You feel me? They didn't jam their finger loading and unloading. They not thinking about that no more. They removed from that. They just seeing the 15 units equal X amount of dollars. So
Your
10
best
ain't 10
managers,
ain't enough.
10 never gonna be enough because it's more there.
Yeah.
I don't care what number you put there. If you start out at 15, 15 ain't gonna be enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A starting point is just that form, a starting point. We want to see how much we can push the limit. You know. I love working
100%.
for a manager that has been an employee before.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely respect the value of work. They understand the difficulty of a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad when you come in some of these companies and your manager never done worked on the floor. He don't even know what it feel like to be on the floor, like in no field. Like he came
Yeah,
straight
you
in the
could
door as
tell.
the manager. Like you can definitely tell they respect the workers a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. And to me, that's the best person for that position because they can foresee things happening. They not just reacting to everything. You know what I mean? They get to know their people, so they like, all right, you supposed to be moving this truck after lunch. You come back from lunch a little tired or a little off. They like, you know what? Just go, just hit the back. I'm gonna have somebody else get on that. Don't even worry about it. When was your last incident? Oh, last week. Oh yeah, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Just
Don't
go
even worry
on in the
about it.
back. Go back to lunch. Actually, we'll take a nap.
That's scary, man.
You know what I mean? And you have to be the one on the hook for that. When somebody's like, "Yo, we're such and such," I'll put them in this. You pick up at this time, and you also got to hold yourself accountable with. Man, I told them do this.
Oh, for real.
To the greedy people, to the people
Yeah.
who only see X's and O's. They not looking at jerseys. They don't care about your name. They know you the tight end or you the kicker, so you better kick.
Hey, nobody respects the kicker
I just want to hear about your foot. I don't
until
want to
it
hear about
come
your
down to
dad.
do or die, and the kicker got to save your life.
Man,
They need a
and
hero.
then you got the whole city with you or against you, depending on what happens, depending on how it goes.
We done had the same kicker all year long.
Yeah.
Nobody ever knew his name, but we get down to the goddamn Super Bowl, and the last play depend on the kicker. Now everybody, you feel me, respect the kicker
Mm-hmm.
next season. It's been the same man been kicking all year long, and I mean that's kind of like I said, the slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saving this company. I've been doing this. You see it every day. Like people go in, they bust their brat every day, all day, just making sure stuff stay afloat. And it's like it's crazy that not until something detrimental happened that it's honestly like, oh, like, yeah, we see that you're a good employee. We see that you make things flow around here. Like,
But I think that's the epitome of why you have to have a backup plan in those scenarios. You did because there's a lot of cats who went through professional sports, did their first 4 years and got out and never went back and took their money and put it in something else, and they happy. They got their car dealerships or their restaurants or their farm. You feel me? So it's like it's more that doesn't. You feel me? And I think it's the allure of the money. Like there's so many things that come with money, and there's so many different ways that it can change your psyche. So I feel like that's just another one because sometimes stemming from that greed is jealousy. It's like, oh, I want it because I don't want all them to have it.
nah, yeah, that's scary.
You
Let
feel
me
me?
ask you a question. What do you feel about, the what's the difference to you, greed and being hungry?
I think they're cousins that look alike. You dig? So they're close, but they ain't as closely related as you would think. But they're close. I think there are two ends of the spectrum. So being hungry to an extent is I am preparing for like how much room I have to eat. You dig? So like I'm hungry enough till I'm full.
Right.
And greed is like you still hungry. There's
Never
something in
fool.
your
Yeah.
mind, like your stomach is good, but something in your brain is like, no, I want dessert. You dig?
I
So I
find
think at
that,
that point, greed it's an obsession.
yeah,
That's the
I feel like
difference.
that exception come when people don't have a destination or a goal. They not shooting towards nothing because
Yeah,
they
no,
never full. And ultimately, no matter how much they eat, it's like it ain't enough because they have no limitations to goals they trying to reach. You know
and
what I'm
there's no
saying? I think,
discipline. You feel me?
yeah,
Because some people, to get to where you're going, you have to step out in that plateau. That's one of my favorite sayings. Like you're only going to know how far you can go if you're willing to go too far. But if you don't never go too far, you're only going to go just enough.
Yeah.
You're never really going to push yourself. You're never going to find out how far you really can go. The problem is, like you said, they don't have any principles. They have no honor. So they don't get that little rise in the hairs on the back of your neck when they go too far. They go too far, they laugh at it, they kick it. You like, yo, calm down. They like, this is outside? Yo. Yeah, I guarantee you tomorrow you're gonna see them ski mask shopping. I guarantee it. I guarantee they're gonna be on Instagram in a ski by the weekend. You hear me? I bet money. They had too much fun on that little trip, and all you did was walk them up the block. That's all you did. They wasn't even really outside, and you seen it. You seen that twinkle in their eye, bro. That's greed. You want the whole outside for yourself now. That's that look in your face.
Man.
Like, it's mine. Looking like Scarface. The world is mine now. Hold up. This been outside this whole time.
Oh, this what's been out here for me.
Y'all done messed up. I've been missing. Hand me my ski. Y'all done messed up.
Hey man, listen, man. I find that to go back on what you just said, that we got to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you're uncomfortable, you growing, you doing something right. If you comfortable and you set, you know what I'm saying? You like you said, you don't know your limits until you go too far, you know? And I think that's where that line is at, is that, you know, people go far enough to get comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to be in uncomfortable situations. It pushes me to go farther. You know, I like to go in the room and be the brokest one, be the weakest one, you know what I'm saying? Because now it pushes me to be better, to go farther. You know, I hate being in the room and I'm the smartest person. Like, I don't feel like I belong there. Like, something ain't right. Like, you know, like, and it's like I said, like, I like being uncomfortable. I like being the eyeball. Like, you know, what he doing here? Like, just wait around, you'll see.
Yeah, and that's what comes now. You can expand those characters. You can expand that different part of your personality to start learning other parts of yourself. Because a lot of people think a person who responds or reacts is like a dangerous person. You know what I mean? And a lot of times you just reckless. You have no discipline. To me, a real dangerous person is a violent person who has it under monetary control. You dig? Like, voluntary control. Like, you decide when you let that out. That's a dangerous person. But that has to be a person with purpose.
No.
That's one of the sayings they teach to us first when we're a kid. If you don't stand for anything, you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of what we're talking about. That's how a lot of people are landing themselves in greed, because they lonely and they don't want to be alone. You dig? They've never really had none, so now they got to covet every single thing they get. They got to hoard. A hoarder comes along with being greedy. You feel me? And that jealousy.
That's a hoarder.
Gatekeeping. All of that is greed. That's not our place to tell people how much is enough for them. That's why I would be a buffet style chef. Like, you make your own plate. You dig? I'm not. I don't know enough for you to be like, I want some sand. All right, here, one piece and some mashed potatoes here.
Yeah,
that's it.
That might work.
You might got 3 on your mind since you left the crib. Like,
that ain't your serving. You feel me?
Yeah, that ain't my place to tell you, bro. Because I don't want you to leave here hungry either.
Yeah, people gotta understand that. I mean, the analogy of it itself, you know, the difference between a buffet and going to go get served. You know, when you think about that and you relate it to what we talking about, it say a lot. You know, you going to go sit down and you ordering what you want, but you're not ordering the quantity or the serving of it. You don't know how much is gonna come out. You know, you don't know. Oh, well, today they in a good mood. They gonna give me 10 broccolis instead of 2. Like, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, I've always, preferred buffet. They say, "Oh, it's dirty." You go in there, it's
Same.
germy. Like, people reaching over. It's like, this is the same stuff that go on back there in that kitchen where that food you order from. Only difference is you can at least see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Back there, you don't know what's going on. So, when I think about life, like you said, I always would prefer to make my own plate.
Mm-hmm.
Just because what my appetite is today might not be my appetite tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I might come in there today and want 3 pieces of salmon. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I might only want 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I'm able to set that down. When I break my goals up for life, I know what I'm going for. I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? And people, tend to put they wants or you know what I'm saying, they inspirations on somebody else. That too is a form of greed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I got this. Now I want to push you to get here just so I can be a part of what you got going on. Like,
Yeah.
that's greed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that big. How you know that I don't want to just make a certain amount of money? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, you know what I'm saying? You don't know until you push yourself, but it's a form of greed because you don't know what my plans is. I might be getting a little
Exactly.
piece here because I might only be building me, you know what I'm saying, a vacation home. So I might only want 2 bedrooms in this house that I'm building over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about something else, and this might be my primary house. I might want 10 bedrooms here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't force off. Well, I want to be able to say that we both got XYZ. Yeah, how you gonna be greedy for me? Like, that's the
Exactly.
scary part of life when people start being greedy for other people. It's like, man, that's scary, man.
They watching your
Like,
plate and they trying to clock your pockets, man. That's a lot of the emotional manipulation people do just to try to figure out something you could have just asked me. We could have had a conversation and you doing all this detective and spy work and climbing on the ceiling. You ain't even have to do all that. I would have told you, you know what I mean? Like, or I would have told you it ain't none of your business. I would have told you something. I would have led you somewhere. You feel me? And this is why we have to be so protected because, like you said, that shows up in so many different ways. You know what I mean? We 22 minutes in. This is a good time for y'all. We done got y'all here now. So the definition of greed is an excessive desire for something. It could be money, food, possessions, and it goes beyond what's reasonable or fair. That's greed. You dig? And I had to be anti words like that to an extent because I was so community, and those words just scream me and self and I, and you know what I mean. It's hard to operate like that around other people, and the only time I feel you really need to be mindful and be greedy is when you're healing, when you're isolating, when this is the time you're taking for you. Now you need to be greedy with your time. You need to be greedy with your attention. You know what I mean? With your resources, with your self care. You put that mason jar of jelly beans up. You dig? Like that's yours.
nah, real.
You can't be thinking like it's just one bean, man. They just asking for one. Nah, this yours. This yours right now. You feel me? You give it everything. Like this is yours right now. And obviously that's extreme. You know what I mean? And most of the times it's gonna be extreme when you need to
Yeah,
be.
you gotta draw it extreme.
It's either extreme or it's survival. It's something's running scarce. Or, we living in Walking Dead and like these are Rice Krispies, bro. Like I don't know what to come on, bro. Tell him we went to school together. Like, nah, we can't help you, man. We ration them out between us. There ain't no more, bro. I can't
Hey
help you.
man, now it becomes the the question of intentions. What's your intentions at that point? Like,
Yeah,
no, I done met people who they like to fill up your plate so they can take a picture of y'all plate together. But the
yep,
picture ain't the significant part. It's the storyline they got to tell later on about that picture.
yep.
You know, people don't understand that. The picture only say half the story.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
person
they
who took the picture got the other half.
and they greedy for attention, bro. Hey, and that's actually like a little I seen it on TikTok. It's like a little challenge people were doing, but one of them was a barber, and they went up to somebody on the street. They was like, "Hey, you want to take a free picture? Or you want a free haircut?" And they like, "Yeah, sure." So they doing things during the day. They hand them a broom, take a picture of them. So as soon as they leave, they on the block and they homie like, "Hey, you went viral." They like, "What you mean?" So they watch the video. The barber's like, "Yeah, man, I took care of a homeless guy today." And part of the video, he told him to say like on the street. So in the video, he was like, "Yeah, man, where you live?" He like on the street.
Yeah, they done. That's sick,
the
bro.
whole day. You hear me?
I seen one little female did one, you know, they did the same thing, but they basically, she was saying she was homeless and all this. But it was the questions they was asking her, the answers didn't match up to the questions that they posted on their video, but the answers matched up. So she looked it bad, man. She went outside, bro. Like she had on one big ass shoe, bro. Like, yeah, it's
people
crazy
going
though.
to them limbs for attention. People going to them limbs for clout. Like all of that's greed. All that's excessive. Like the people who gonna come across this stuff gonna come across. That's why I'm not a big like being people inbox 10 times a day. Like podcast. Like you gonna see it if you meant to see it. It's gonna fall in like a lot. Every time I meant to see something, I see it. You dig?
We talked about that before we started our podcast. That was one thing we had a discussion about. You know, it's crazy that, you know, like you said, you don't gotta overly excessively harass somebody. You know, you might just plant that seed and they might not see it right now. And this might not be the time for them to see it. You know what I'm saying? They might be going on, have something going on, and they might be strolling and they might see that podcast 2-3 months from now, and then they might click on the link. And it's like they remember because it's a familiar site. I done already seen it. You plant the seed once by posting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gotta be in your inbox back to back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't gonna do nothing but make you feel like I really ain't gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? But when you done seen it, it's familiar, and now you know you doing something totally different. Your mind somewhere totally different, and you just scroll past it. It's like, damn, that look familiar. I be seeing that. Let me click on it. Now you intrigued. Now you want to know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, definitely, you know, being humble and like I said, the difference with hungry and greed, you know, being hungry don't mean that you got to fill your plate all the way up at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a such thing as seconds. You know what I'm saying? I think people fail to realize that. And that's where they, you know, they get to mix up the disconnect between greed and being hungry is, you know, you can only handle what you can handle. You know, a portion is a portion. Now, if you want to come back and get different portions, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. But don't pile all of this up on your plate just because you see it's there.
Exactly, because that's trauma, and a lot of places will lead you, you know what I mean, to you having to deal with the same lesson over and over and over and over and over. This is why I got into fasting. And when I got into fasting, it led me to nutrition. And nutrition taught me one of our most dysfunctional relationships is with food. We stress eat, we have sugar crashes, we'll drink till our stomach hurt and swear we never gonna do it again, and then next weekend we right back. You hear what I'm saying? Like,
I swear it's my last time drink. Get me over this right now.
No discipline. We have times where we should be eating and we're not. You feel me? Food is one of our most dysfunctional relationships that people do not realize. So this is now why we have to heal, why we have to set these boundaries so we can identify these things to change them. Just knowing it ain't gonna change anything. Like, you just know some stuff now. You can go on Jeopardy. Congrats. But you ain't fixed nothing. You dig? Like, and this is why I always love leading with what people know things to be, and then how also they could look at things. Because like we said, there's positives too to greed. This was an analogy that when it hit me, I'm like, yeah, that's the one. So this is for the ladies. You hear me? So men love to be useful. We love gratitude. So imagine, let's paint a picture for the ladies. So imagine you come home, you got a bunch of groceries, and me as a man, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just get the groceries. You don't even gotta ask. So I go reach for the groceries, and this woman's like, I got it. You dig? already done blew my eye. Already done ruined my analogy already. But that's just one scenario. It's one scenario. Scenario 2. You come home, same woman, same man, groceries. I go to help him. You praise me for stepping out and helping you, for being a man. Like, oh, you wanted to be helpful? Thanks, babe. I needed that. Next time, I'm going to go harder. Next time, I'm changing your oil. I'm parking the car. You know what? I'm walking to the grocery store and I'm driving you back. You said what now? You want to run that by me? you proud of me? What?
That made you say that. Let me see what else I can say.
I'm gonna be better now.
I'll go get the groceries for you.
You hear me? Why you shopping? Look, you do too much. Sit down. Come here. Sit down. I poured you a drink. Don't worry. I got it. You feel me? Like, be greedy in that. Be greedy in that praise. Be greedy with allowing that man to do for you. Because how you a man, you in America, how realistic is that for the women you know? Like, that's not realistic for me. I got it. All right. You right. You absolutely right, man. You do. You dig?
Hey, I was scrolling down my page today and I seen a girl say, I don't know what I was thinking saying I got it. I've always been kept. And it was several different ways that I read that. I read it several different times, you know. And it's amazing, like I said, how one sentence can have a million different meanings. You know, the same sentence, you know, it ain't no, oh, well, they changed this one, well, they made this sentence fit the scenario. Like, it's amazing how one sentence, every letter, every syllable, everything the same, every punctuation, the exact same. It can have a million different meanings, you know, because when you look at it, meaning is somebody's perspective, somebody's interpretation of something. That's their understanding of it, you know. And that statement, I mean, it said a lot. And then, like I said, it can be a negative, it can be a positive. I took it as something positive, you know, because a lot of women don't understand how to be kept. You know, it's scary nowadays that I got it, the independent. Like, now you hear a woman say they independent, and it's almost a turn off. Because you kind of scared. You got to hear their definition of independent.
The moment that's what I was about to say. I immediately need to know what you mean.
I need to know your definition of it because I want to know.
Are you rapping a song or what you trying to? What are you trying to say by independent? Explain.
What perspective are you looking at this from? And that's important. A lot of people don't think that's important. You know, it's definitely important because you want to know to what aspect are they saying that they're independent. I've met women that's been so independent that they don't even know how to let somebody help them. You know, they so used to doing it on their own, them being you know what I'm saying, the masculine person in their life, because you know, a lot of it is mothers, you know. A lot of mothers have that, you know, symptom because they have naturally been forced into that way. You know, defending for their kids, it's become a mechanism to them, almost like, you know, I have to be independent. I have to do it. I can't wait on nobody, you know, and that has ruined so many women, you know. It's sad to say, and I hate to say ruined more than damaged, but ruined is proving that point. It's putting it out there, you know, and just because something is ruined don't mean that it's over.
Right, right. Like, and that's and it's funny how even then in that it full circle comes back to greed. And a lot of people are trying to be greedy with our talents and our time. And you know what I mean? The feeling we give them, because we give them a sense of peace. We give them a sense of ease. And we're so fixated with our ego, we're not seeing what's happening. I was watching a show earlier, and we always give this insight as our perspective. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I first started speaking on like how I felt about women, and like, you know, my people immediately just like, you're bashing and blah blah blah, like, Ain't nobody got to do all that. You feel me? Like, and we had these conversations with real women in real time. So this
Right.
ain't no internet stuff. You hear me? And the guy on the show was saying, because the girl basically had made a comment like that her dad wasn't, very financial savvy, and she had an older dad, but she wasn't like knocking him. She was just testifying. And she was like, so it took me time, and it's still taking me time to see like how he showed up for me in other ways. And then he's like, okay, the host, he's like, okay, I see that. He says, so if you had a situation going on, and hopefully, God forbid you did, but let's say you had a situation going on, you had to fight somebody, could you call your dad? She's like, oh, he'd be the first one there, ready to put. He said, so your dad was protecting you. He said, so whether you realized it or not,
Nah, that's a fact.
his protection covered you. Because he's like, hopefully women do not have to fight. I don't want to see none of y'all out here fighting. But there's some women who didn't have that at all, who didn't have none of that. They couldn't say, oh, I'm going to call my dad.
Yeah.
He's like, so sometimes we are so stuck in how we want to see things, we're not seeing everything. You so fixated on what you think is happening. You can't imagine what's really happening, and you can't be aware of what's really happening. You know what I mean? Like, and we all do that as people. We all do that as people, and that's a part of what I was saying earlier on the show. Could be a part of greed. You trying to fill that empty void with people and possessions. You know what I mean? That's a part of the greed. Like, that's a part of your hurt.
Monetary fixing it.
Yeah.
Momentarily fixing it with monetary things.
Literally, bro. And it's like, but if you, again, ain't even looking in to see if there's greed in there, because you just like, nah, greed a bad word. I ain't greedy. You might be. you might. I don't know. I gotta see. I can't just say yes or no. I don't know. You feel me? Like, don't ask me if you don't want the truth.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't want the truth, because it's gonna hurt.
I don't know. But there's sometimes when I feel I don't have a choice when Shorty's like, yo, you gonna come see me. We hanging out this week. You know what I mean? And it's like, as a man, I'm just like, man, I've been with you for the past 3 weeks. Does that not count? Do those credits not transfer over?
Yeah.
Or you just want all my time? Because that's greedy. I want to take a walk down the block. I want to get on the game with my friends. I want to take a nap.
I don't think that people look at it. Big shout out to Ray. I see you, big bro.
Yo, Ray.
I think that, women don't interpret their greed, as those situations, like to them, that's just them. Oh, I just want to be up under my man. I'm clingy. And it's like, it becomes greedy when you have a problem with me wanting to do else, if I have something else I want to do and it becomes a problem, that right there in that moment becomes greedy. It's okay for you to want, what I'm saying, me to be around all the time. But when you start putting stipulations and, they hate to say it, but, they start ultimately giving your man consequences for not doing what you want him to do, it becomes very greedy.
Mm-hmm. And the irony is the abundance that people are trying to create through greed, you can create through submission. That's the same analogy we was talking about earlier. If you praise a man on his ability to do a good job, he's going to try to do a better job next time. He's going to try to one up himself. The same works with submission. You learn to submit to my way, not who I am, my mission, we're going to get up every morning and do this. This is how we're teaching the children. This is the type of food we're putting in our bodies. This is how we speak to one another. You feel what I'm saying? This is how we handle conflict. Then the things that you couldn't even imagine, you might have came into this and said, he's only able to give me 4. I'm trying to give you 40 now. I'm trying to put 40 on the board tonight. Every game. There ain't no game I'm coming out here like, we'll see if my shot on. Every night I'm trying to put up 40.
I love what you said. First, let me hear Ray. Greed kills relationship opportunities and mentally, etc. That is a fact. Like yeah, I can't even explain that how much of effect that is. But to circle back to the topic of what you just said, I used to always have this conversation with my bros. You know, we get together and we might be discussing, what's going on, and you having that conversation about women that like to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that they lean more towards the greed than the submission.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a man, let me tell you something. Any real man, ultimately, his number one goal is to please his woman.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So, do you not know by being submissive and not being overpowering, every decision that you want is going to be made through him?
Mm-hmm.
You ultimately always drive the car. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
yeah, oh, I put the pants on, but she wear the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
ultimately, as a real man, a man's number one goal is to please his woman. You feel me? So when he's pleasing his woman, naturally, when you learn your significant other, your partner, you know what I'm saying, you learn the decisions that they would want to make. And if they're
Mm-hmm.
being submissive to you and making you feel like the man, you ultimately are going to do the things that they like to do, which means they are in control of the situation.
Yeah.
Women don't understand that being submissive can get you 10 steps farther than being controlling or being greedy.
Yeah. Because that's logic. There ain't no emotion in that response. You can only
Like,
get there working yourself logically. But yeah, absolutely. And that's what creates the reciprocity now in the situation, because now I know I'm never going to feel greedy holding the steering wheel. I'm never going to feel like I'm the one always driving the car. You've created a dynamic now where I understand we are splitting this, we're sharing this. This is 50-50. That's essentially what it means. Like, which could be 90-10 some days. It could be 100-0. It could be 50-50. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we both know now it's split. We don't have to keep stopping to have that conversation. Like, man, am I carrying too much of the weight? Am I being greedy with too much of the attention? Do we just talk about my life? Do we just hang with my friends? Do we just do what I want to do? You know what I mean? So now these become common conversations versus those things that got bottled up for too long. You did. And now instead of popping champagne, we got to deal with all these bottles, with all these things that, we ain't been addressing and dealing with. So now it's like in a time where you try to cut corners through your greed, now you got to start all the way back at square one. And that's what's so daunting for a lot of people's relationships. It's that, man, we got to start over. But that's what it is. That's what it
nah,
is. Good
that's a
or
fact.
bad. That's what that's what it's going to be. It's going to be repetitive. You feel me? So your stance is, are you learning? Are you present? Do you care? Are you invested in this for real? Or are you just here? And a lot of people are looking for those answers, but they don't want them truths that come with them answers.
Them answers ugly and they hurt sometimes. Little sting feeling on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
like going to the doctor to get a shot. Ultimately, you know that it's better for you. It's gonna help you, but it hurt. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like that shot hurt. You know what I'm
And the next
saying?
one gonna hurt too.
They gotta do it like, I hate to make that analogy, but it's like real life. And then what do? They come in, they put a little band-aid on it. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
we gonna protect this. We gonna put a little band-aid over it, you know what I'm saying? And I think ultimately in life, you have to have that mindset, you know, that some things are gonna hurt that is for the better of you.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that if you avoid those things that hurt, how are you gonna get farther in life?
Mm-hmm. And we can't get too caught up in the good times. Cause sometimes it's gonna be your partner ripping that band-aid off, but sometimes that's what you needed. You feel me? So you gotta assess everything. You gotta have discernment in the situation for everything that's going on, and that's how we can get to the next situation whole. But we be having so many little fallouts and disrupts over nothing, things that we gonna forget about in a week. That's what I mean by nothing. We're not gonna care in a little bit, so it wasn't that big. But like we were saying earlier, when you don't have that purpose, when you're not aligned with anything, you don't know what's going on. You guessing.
Playing
And
it
that's
what they say.
scary when you're leading people's lives.
Hey, hey,
You guessing.
living by the fly, and you the leader.
Yeah.
But you say you just on the go. We don't know where you going. You just on the go. Like this is a real marathon.
Doing a lot and ain't did nothing.
Sad part about it is even the marathon got an ending point. And I think that's where people fail to realize that I don't care how long the race is, it got to end somewhere. And you have to set yourself up to end the race. You know, the goal is to not only finish the race, but it's to be better than you did the last race. You know, ultimately to learn better, I got to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. You know, I don't just get in races just to run in them. You know what I'm saying? I ultimately have a goal for it. I might not be running this race to win it. You know, I might only be running this race to condition for something else bigger I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people fail to realize that, you know, some races are just preparation for bigger marathons.
Yeah. And you have to change your intentions of what you have. Like the lines become sometimes with feeling like, okay, I'm not greedy, I just attract a lot of things. You dig? The greed makes it that you are trying to hoard these things. You think these things are yours.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to change your understanding. You don't got to make room for more food. You got to open a restaurant or you got to open a delivery company or you get what I mean? A caterer. Repurpose now because now it's abundance. Literally the same idea, same concept. You could be doing business on the same street under a different name. It's a whole different thing now. Before this was just your house and you was eating everything. Now it's a charity. Now you giving this stuff away. Now you created a place to where even when you have overflow, which is the plan, you like you said, you attract a lot of things, so there's going to be overflow.
Yeah.
But you're not sitting on your hands and you ain't locking it in the closet. You putting people together like, yo, you come pick this bread up. Y'all come get this milk. Y'all come get this cheese. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all can get the fruit. So everything's coordinated. You done created a whole ecosystem with something that you once thought was an issue. Something you was once asking yourself, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You feel me? So now we're in a position to where we're taking these words that seem scary and seem dangerous and definitely can have negative or positive connotations add to them. But you got to ask yourself, what does this mean to you? What is your response? How are you applying this to your life? Because then you can open the questions and ask myself, am I being gluttonous? Because you might be.
Hey,
I feel like the only reason you would be
that word in the Bible, don't start dropping them bombs.
Hey,
like
you hear me?
that.
Because there has to be some type of logic in it. You know what I mean? Like, if you told me, like, yo, I got a new crib, I'm like, all right, but I'm gonna pull up. And I get there, you like, all right, everybody gotta go through the metal detector. Like, if I don't got nothing that ain't supposed to be on my person, why would I care about that? Why would I be worried about that? Why would I pull you to the side like, nah, bro, I got these new keys. I got a bunch of them, bro. I can't today. Let me go through the back door, bro. And everything good. Don't think nothing wrong. Don't think this is suspicious. You feel me? Just I wasn't planning on going through no metal detector today. Come on, bro. Why are you doing this, bro? You dig?
Greedy
Like,
for attention. That's when people become greedy for attention, man.
yeah.
You know, it seems better to feel like I'm doing something wrong. I had my kids in the car today, you know, from the home. It was a wreck. And I mean, it was sheriffs and stuff everywhere. And I went through the parking lot and I pulled out. You know, I was kind of being nosy, just seeing what was going on. And the kid said, "Man, you better go, man. The police gonna pull you over." And I looked at him and I said, "Shit, I got license." Like, you know, like I'm prepared for this. Like, you know, I ultimately ain't worried about something like that because, like I said, I've already prepared myself for that. And I think sometimes in life people lose, you know what I'm saying, that understanding that, you know, it don't matter if you walk through the metal detector if you don't got nothing. It don't matter if you drive and the police behind you and you got a license. You know what I'm saying? The analogy to that life is when you prepare for certain things, you know what I'm saying, like you let it flow how it flow. You know, preparation is key to a lot of things. You know, like don't be scared to go through the storm. Your low points. You know, you already prepared for them. You know, just put a rain jacket on.
Yeah. And we become our own abusers in those type of situations. I truly believe, and I tell people this in psychology, a lot of our worst experiences was in our mind. This is what we thought were going to happen. And us playing through, like, what I need to do is because I was watching Final Destination last night, and now there's this semi on the freeway. You dig? And it's like, same way you drive every day.
You ever met a person who plan their arguments?
For sure.
They say the argument to themselves all day before they go have an argument.
I used to be one when I was little.
I said it because, boy, listen, and it's crazy that when you get there to confront that argument, and you know, nobody mindset is where your mindset is at. You know,
For sure.
nobody is angry, nobody is upset. You was riled up. You was ready for this argument, man. Like,
ready to strike.
It's almost a sign of defeat when you go in there and they don't want to argue with you. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's funny, you know. Because I see that a lot,
and it can consume you. You feel me? I had to learn to repurpose that. It was why for a while I just had to go to the ATM because I'll be standing in the bank like, man, I'll take that camera out first and I'll hit that register.
Hey.
And I'm in here thugging.
Playing in your head, man.
Ordering a ski on Amazon. All right, got my ski, and I go for that register and out. She looked like she gonna help, so I have her bag it up. I ain't talking to him. He gonna press the button. I'm gonna tie bro up first.
You in there applying your own damnation.
See too many movies, dog.
This is over for us right here, right now.
Too many, bro. I just go to the ATM now. Keep it simple.
Hey, man.
Hey, but that is a very real trauma response. As a person who is not trying to get in confrontation, like you've been in too many situations and you didn't know what to do in those situations. So now you have to be prepared at all times. You don't want to get caught off guard anymore. And like you said, that's going to make it possible for you to live in uncomfortable situations. You're going to create a comfortable life around yourself. You're going to live in bubble wrap now.
Yeah.
You're going to be too afraid to run, too afraid to jump or do anything or go stretch out of your comfort zone.
Ultimately learning yourself, learning that I don't work well in those situations, like you said. So instead of me going into the bank, I'm going to go through this drive-through ATM. You know, I learned that I'm not good with being around a lot of people. So, you know, I don't go to the club at 8 o'clock at night and think I'm going to have a good time. Like, I go have me a drink at 4 in the afternoon when nobody has showed up. Like,
you
know, you ultimately learn yourself, you know, and preparation, like I said, will always be key. But preparation means nothing without understanding. You know, if you don't understand the assignment, if you don't understand the goal of the assignment, if you don't understand the ultimate destination of the assignment, you can have all the purpose in the world. Shit to just keep on running. No destination.
And that discipline becomes what you do without having all that skill and having all these, you know, these thoughts and having all these ideas. You got to find a discipline to do something with those things, you dig? And that will help you start identifying who you was. It started letting me know, like, man, I might be an introvert. Like, my best time outside is when people at work or when they sleep. You hear me? This is my favorite time to be outside.
No, for real.
During rush hour and 9 o'clock, nah, I'm in the crib. Too many people outside. Everybody outside.
They used to ask me, why you like driving at night? Nobody on the road. Like,
just me.
That's my best time. Like, you know, man, you gonna take that trip that late? Yeah, nobody is on the road. I'm preparing myself for this destination that I'm about to end up at. You know, ultimately knowing that, you know, if I take a trip at 3 in the afternoon, I might hit rush hour somewhere down the line. You know, but like I said, all the preparation in the world means nothing if you don't have an understanding of your assignment or your destination.
So this is, I love when we talk healing, and I love when people step into healing because they'll start to see the thing they thought was the root, the dead tree, was just the leaves falling off. Like, this is just a reaction to what's really happening underneath, what's really happening inside. So it's okay to look in the mirror and say, man, I've been a little greedy lately. That's you noticing yourself. We don't got to be afraid to tell the truth. And you can't lie to yourself anyways. That's the irony. So I don't even know why people be trying to lie. You feel me? You might as well get used to having to tell yourself the truth. Like, man, I am not being the best version of myself right now. And I need to discover what that looks like. It's easy for a person to say, well, I'm going to try, or whatever people be saying, because I get to work. I stop talking at that point.
Hey.
Like, okay, I know what it is. Is this it? You feel me? I used to be the same way on the job. Like, you hand me a paper that like, this your assignment, but hang around. Nah, I'm about to go get started. Like, is this it? Is this all I need to do? Because I don't. If I had questions, I would have asked at the beginning. I'm ready to go now. Now I got what I need. Let's go. And that's going to keep you away from greed, because it's going to keep you in your purpose. It's going to keep you in your passion and your focus, and all those things come with maintenance. It's easy to get greedy when you being idle, when you just telling people what to do, when you not the actually one building the sweat equity. You just hitting that calculator, and 15 units times X is okay. We need to be 20.
Say we go back to the math.
We 20 this week.
Yeah.
It's 20 going to equal Y. So, yeah. So it's easy to be greedy, you feel me, when you're not in the field. It's easy to be greedy when you're not doing your work. That's why I always say, even when I got into business, like, I'm more comfortable with having a smaller business. I don't want thousands of employees. I can't, because I want to still be in the field too. And I don't want to start, you know what I mean? Okay, 100 units times X is, okay.
Hey.
Huh.
Hey.
Because you know, we got kids, we got daughters. Daddy, I want this. I'm just looking like 100 units times X looking good. And I'll text you back, daughter. Hold on, give me a minute. Hold on, I gotta go see somebody about something.
This is when greed come in hand, you know, because ultimately we know what that 100 units do, but only because we learn trying to get what baby girl said. 100 units just get the job done, so I want 110.
Yeah.
And that's the sense of urgency that creates greed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not never knowing when enough is enough. You know, ultimately always thinking that it has to be more. And, you know, you can always want more. You know, it's not about the actual want. It's like you said, when you start to gatekeep and withhold, it becoming greedy. You know, I can want to eat again. You know, when I take the last piece of chicken and wrap it up and hide it in the back of my closet, so you know somebody else don't get it, is when it becomes greedy. Oh, it was so good, I had to hide me a piece for later, but two people didn't eat yet. Like, that's greedy. Like,
and then it sneaks checking every corner to see if anybody knows. Like, it's still there.
Wanting is not greed. I can say that was some great chicken, I want another piece, you know, but you know, not being greedy kept me for saying that, you know, it's considering other people. I got 2 other people that ain't ate, and it's only 2 pieces of chicken. So if I take me another one just because I want it, somebody is not going to eat. That's where greed is created. You know, it's sad, but you know, I think being selfless a lot of times helped me from being greedy.
Absolutely, because they're there, like you said, it's because of philosophy. And this is why I had to make my philosophies, you know, certain things. I had to create that as my boundaries. And I always say, if I'm going in a room to take 1, I'm leaving 2. I'm never taking more than I'm leaving. And I'm leaving some if I'm taking something. Every time.
Nigga took a whole case of pop home. Yeah. He bought 12 pans of food, y'all. Leave that exactly alone. Like, But he bought
And if somebody
12
was willing to leave all that food, they probably waited around to make sure nobody else wanted this case, and everybody said they was cool. It's going in the trunk. I ain't asking twice. You hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all good? Bet. All right, it's already in my shoulder. Y'all want this? All right, come on, case. Y'all keep the food. I got this.
It's always that one greedy person who done loaded 3 cases in their car before anybody seen it that want to know why that person is taking that one case. They ain't bought nothing to the cookout. They done been stealing, making plates the whole time. They done took 32 plates to the car, stole 4 cases of pop from by the side of the cooler that didn't make it in, and they worried about this person taking this one case of pop to the car, man.
I'm pretty sure
greedy,
they worked
man.
half a week. I think there was a couple days I ain't see them. They weren't even here.
I don't gotta buy no pop for my kids.
But you know they was here on reward day, on trophy day, parade day. You knew they was here. They was shirtless, leading with the mic. You feel me? That attention, bro. All of that comes together. All of that comes together. In those senses, I don't believe two things can be true. I don't believe a person with a generous heart, you're going to find them being greedy. You know what I mean? It's rare. They may do it and not be understanding how it's greedy, but I don't see it. Because for them to be giving and forthcoming, you have to build your character around that. That's not something you can keep up on appearances with. You got to be that. Because sometimes you don't get nothing back in return.
Nah, that's a fact.
You feel me? You was geek because they was like, we got them TVs. You got to bring 2 canned goods. And they try to bring 20 and ain't get no TV. And the person that only brought 2 ended up winning. That's life sometimes. You should have just been donating some canned goods.
20 of them?
Right.
I need them back. Give me 18 back.
Opening up the corn. I'm going to eat this one, man. Yeah, give me the corn. Get off.
Your mama sent them raviolis up here to the school for
like, bro, why are you wrestling
with the jar?
Why are you wrestling with the pastor? Get off the corn, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man. But yeah, I definitely.
Those things are all side effects. Those things sometimes are the side effect of that person's character. Like this is their character showing.
Hey,
you feel me?
Character, a bad motherfucker, because you can't hide it. I don't give a fuck what you put on it. You can't hide your character. In due time, it shall show. You know, and it's simple situations like that.
I see those things, bro. It's done. The greed is going to be the downfall, and I'm too responsible to bring all my people on the boat and realize the people building the boat was greedy. So for every 2 pieces of wood the boat needed, they kept a half a piece.
Hey, man.
Trying to run off on the plug. And you know people do that all the time. They jobs, they illegal jobs, whatever it is, you dig? Like, so that happened to me when I had the shoe store. And the oldest one, the most responsible one, the one who flew under the radar, because we thinking you gonna be proper. Like we young. You the oldest one, and 10 years older at least than me at the time. And I was older than the other 2 guys. They was younger than me. So we all kind of looking at you like, you feel me, be the example. Boy was filthy, you hear me? Filthy. He's stealing, first you're stealing from yourself. And then you're stealing from the account, our shoe store account. And you paying your phone bill and eating a Mongolian barbecue. Like, if I was going to rob that bank I was casing earlier that day when I went to the bank, I'm going to Roof Chris. I'm getting golden plated lobster. I'm not going to Applebee's, fam.
But that's the thing, though. The analogy that you missed about what you said is you ain't going in there encasing to rob no bank and depositing your own fucking money in it.
Right.
Like, what fucking idiot takes his own money in the bank, deposits, and then robs the bank? Like,
got your face and your name.
Like, yeah,
it could only be you. Who else could it have been but you? But so that comes with the greed of attention. Bro just wanted to look like he had a business, and that's what I later realized. And we got a little private investigator, and we looked into him. Bro filed like 9 freaking bankruptcy like 9 times for businesses. Like, oh, you just trying to look like you got to have a business. And then when they start going awry, you jump ship. But the problem is you was a part of the building crew, so you knew there was pieces of wood missing. You knew what y'all did.
Yeah.
This is what Cat Williams said. Like I'm watching the liar's eyes because the liar knows where the truth is. They had to know to lie to you.
Hey.
So they telling you, look over here, I'm funny. The whole time they got this rotten heart that's poisonous to touch. And you just watching them shuck and jive. You watching them be funny and tell jokes. You feel me? Make everybody feel good. The whole time they're bringing everything down around us. So it's like I had to grow in that situation to realize like I allowed this. It's easy in retrospect to say we shoulda, coulda, woulda. So I don't live like that. But I look back and say, okay, I could have asked more questions. This did kind of start looking funny in year one. I should have spoke up. Things like that. I was a little too trusting here. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But when we got to the end, bro, it was the end. I was done. I was coming up to the shop with the Henny in hand. Like, I had the Xbox in there. The homies, and we kicking it. I'm having the neighborhood guys come through. Like, I don't, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I was happy because I knew I had learned. So I wasn't tripping. So I'm good. It's like being in a bad relationship where you already start moving on. And you feel me? You're not pressed for it to be over right now, but it's like I'm feeling good because I know as soon as I hit that ground, I'm gonna be running. I'm moving. You feel what I mean? So for that, like I had to take a crazy L, and I was like, that's how deep greed can go. A nigga gonna steal from himself, bro. You gonna steal from yourself. I didn't even think that was possible physically, but I've been wrong once or twice, I guess, because
he said, "You don't think so? Oh yeah, let me show you."
Hold my Mongolian barbecue.
Hey, man.
Watch me. Like I ain't even ate a Mongolian since there. Shout out to Mongolian, but I can't, y'all. I gotta know myself. But I love Mongolian barbecue. The concept, the food. We was just talking about buffet style spots, bro. I love that what? I used to pow that bowl up to the top. You hear me? Can't even do it no more, big dog. Triggered.
Hey man, you say a trigger.
Triggered.
Yeah. Greed is it? Yeah, it's a dangerous thing, and like you said, when you reach that altitude where you feel like you're gonna rob yourself. As I keep saying, the race is already over.
It's time to go lay down.
The race is already over, man.
As soon as you get up, find a therapist immediately. As soon as first order of business. Don't get cute. Don't flirt with nobody. Don't look at nobody. Walk straight to that therapist's office. You dig? And that's what it has to be, because all it is their trauma responses. It's hurt. There's no logic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know So I'm grateful that I'm able to see certain lessons and I'm able to take away from it, something that can help me, because that's going to help you on your healing journey, not take stuff so personal when you having to look back and be like, man, this me and such ain't close no more. And you really seeing what's happening. It's just like, okay, I chose me. I put my boundaries up. I decided no more nonsense. I was tolerating too much. I was allowing too much. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of people have to get out of that outward greed, that validation. You allowing people to take up all your time and all your happiness and all your joy and all your light. They're leeches. They're vampires, bro.
Literally.
That's beyond hunger. You feel me? That's not hungry. That's something else. That's obsessed. Because when I'm hungry and I've ate enough, I'm done. I'm not thinking about food no more.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the meal, I may be thinking about my next meal, but as soon as I'm full, I'm not thinking about food no more for a little bit. I'm about to take a break. I don't want to look at silverware, man. Like, I don't want to see nothing associated with eating.
I heard a friend, we was all out to eat, and we ate and ate. Everybody, of course, had our fun before we went in there to eat. So, we went in and ate, and then it was like, man, we should eat this later. You dangerous to be around immediately at that point. I know you dangerous. Like, there's no limitations. You have no limitation at all. Like we're stuffed and you're planning what do you want to eat later. Like,
Being a menace.
man, you gotta learn the people around you, man. Simple comments like that, can detour a friendship. Like, and it's not the you want to eat or you planning your food. It's the principle behind it, that knowing that you got a greedy mindset. And somebody with a greedy mindset is dangerous because ultimately they'll get over on anybody to get to what they want. You know, you learn your people.
A lot of people are not willing to be in that confrontation. So they've learned how to be, assertive in that way.
That's a fact.
And now you look like homie off life. You go eat your cornbread. Nah, Ray, I want him to have it. Nah, man, you better put your cornbread down. Nah, shit, I want him to have it. Man, you ain't giving him nothing.
Hey, man.
What you mean?
Martin knew something wasn't right when he told him that's gas money, Ray. He knew this motherfucker here greedy. It's over for him.
He gonna be here every day.
Hey, man.
Little dude across the street. Let me hold $1 every day.
Hey, man.
Every day.
Everybody hates Chris.
You got that much money for your
little dude from across the street? Let me hold $1.
Come on, like we don't be having it, bro, and it's like we still be trying to keep the peace. Find it. Power of no. Sometimes, that's what's needed with these greedy friends and these leeches and these vampires. Like the power of no. You gotta tell people no. And stand on that.
I about to say you can't just tell them, and you gotta mean it.
You feel me? Like, cause that's love. We gotta stop enabling people and calling it love. That is not love. That's fear. You afraid to be honest with them, so they're gonna keep using this. And I'm not saying you at fault, but they're gonna keep using this as a crutch.
With you giving them the power to.
You feel me? Like I was gonna start that diet, but my homegirl birthday coming up, and she like to go big, so I gotta put it off a little bit. And she's not invited to the party this year, fam. Like as soon as you told me you working on a diet, you're not invited, fam. You can't come. We send you pictures.
If you can't respect it, you don't need to be there no way.
Yeah, like you can't come. And if I can't tell you that, we not friends anyway. I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be fake cool. I don't want to have a birthday last year. I don't want to do none of this because it's a charade. It's not real. We're telling each other what's comfortable enough. That's not real.
Yeah. Comfortability don't get you nowhere.
So once we heal, once we do the work, then we can start getting in society. Then we can start putting investments in these relationships. Because too many times niggas is coming to a relationship asking what this relationship gonna do for them. And you ain't even discovered what you're trying to leave here, what you're trying to put in. You know what I mean? And like I said, everything I do, like if I'm taking one, I'm leaving two. At least two. At least two. Everything I do. Somebody trying to give me something, I'm giving you something back. Like, no, this is just for the kindness. Yeah, me too. Here.
What you say? Yeah, me too. Hold on to this.
Right, thanks. Here. No, I don't want it. All right, that. They call me tomorrow and shit. Like, why you do that, man? What? Why you give me that job, bro? Man, come on, bro. You always bro. You give me one, you get two. That's what it is.
That's the way to make something positive. You know, people don't like to look at that aspect of it, but like you said, why you give me that job? Shit, I gave you two of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but those are opportunities that we looking to open up.
Let's feed your kids now.
Now, I say we looking to open up them opportunities for sure.
You know what I mean? And it's too many times people are looking at that as a transactional thing and not realizing this person could be in a position to be helping you with the thing you're trying to do. You've been looking all through town trying to get your kid that PS5 for Christmas. Your boy worked for Sony. Like, come on. Like, that's what I mean. Like, some people are not in their job so they can help you, but they love you, so they don't mind helping you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you looking at it as, man, I just got that kid a gift card. It don't matter. And they loved it, and they was excited, and they was grateful for that. So take this PlayStation. Like, what we talking about?
Yeah, people don't understand that, man. But what is that? Greed. Spell it out. Like, yeah,
Because
man.
you can't be blocking your blessings either in the name of saying I'm not trying to be greedy or I'm not trying to take more than what I need. But you ain't been taking what you need your whole life, so you deficient. So nothing I give you can put you over what you need. You ain't already been
man,
taking
stop
what you
stepping
need.
on my toes, man.
You dig?
Stop. I ain't got steel toes on, man. Stop stepping on my toes, man. What day you said, church? Get out of my house, pastor.
Why he looking directly at me?
Nah, cause that's a true statement. I'm a living testimony of that, man. Cause I turned down some help in a heartbeat and be just the most giving to help anybody, you know. And I had to learn that, you know, ultimately that's a negative thing, you know. Mm-hmm. It's okay to get help. You know, I was always one that, you know, like, man, nah, it's all right, bro. You should, nah, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Shit, sometimes I couldn't even help myself, but I see somebody else in need, and how can I help? How can I help? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that, you know, when you a doer, you know, ultimately you got to learn how to receive. You shouldn't be walking to a party and dropping out 2 items and not picking up one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about a gift. You might be taking 2 gifts to a party and you might be leaving with a refreshment, but you took something and, you know what I'm saying, you received something back. You got to learn how to receive something back. You know what I'm saying? A kind thank you is something that can be received. You know, we get into that mindset. Oh, don't worry about it. A person be trying to thank us. You know what I'm saying, for doing something. Oh, don't worry about it. It wasn't no problem. We can't even take a normal thank you sometimes, man. You know, so
yeah,
definitely, you know, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. You know, that's gonna be my last statement of the night. Is, you know, learning. It's okay to take a thank you. It's okay to take some help. You know, it's not greedy. You know, if you want more, you know what I'm saying? It's greedy when you start wanting more to keep somebody else from getting it. It's okay to want. It's okay to strive, to want to do better.
That's real. That's real. Yeah, that's a fact, man, because we don't have to make giant strides and leaps to make changes. You can make changes in a matter of inches. And that's why I look through analogies. That's why I always try to see situations that I was already in and realizing this is helping this person's greed. This person, you know, we came to this party and they got this need attention to be validated and they trying to hoorah. So, like, the best thing I can do is take this person from the party. Like, you know what? I'm going to take them home. Y'all got it. All right. I may have to miss out. This is what I mean by sometimes, like, you got to leave more than you take. Like, I'm not having fun. I can't hear the party. You feel me? Like, but it's something bigger happening here. You feel me? And I can give everybody at the party peace of mind by taking little Rico home because boy, will crash out. And I would roll here with him. So why he crashing out is very reasonable. I understand it. I'm not judging. But we got to go. Not here.
Yeah.
Not here. Not now. Yeah. Maybe not ever. You feel me? But not here. Not now. You dig? And we got to make those choices in our life. Like, that is not being greedy. That is not you saying, like, oh, well, my night's ruined, so I'm going to ruin everybody's night. That's you thinking about people. That's you putting other people before you and realizing, like, man, anything can happen. Let's just make sure everybody's safe first. And then we go on from there. And I'm a living testimony. That's what I'm going to leave people with. Like, some of my best nights, some of my best moments were by random. I did not plan for the fun we had. We was doing something else. I had to take a little Rodrigo home. And now we kicking it. Now his abuela was making tacos. We in the kitchen. We turned. You feel me? We having a night.
Somebody pulled out the tequila.
Yeah, man, I got a hat on before I know it. I don't know what's going on, but I needed to be here. This needed to be happening. And if I would have been so greedy with what I want, with going to the party, with being validated by my actual plans happening, I missed out on something that may be our Thursday now. That could be a whole new icebreaker for our friendship. It's that because I shouldn't even be dragging this crazy motherfucker to the club. You feel me? So now it's like, I'm gonna pull up on you, bro. Stay where you. I'll put my boots on. Stay where you at, bro. Take the boot. Untie that boot. I'm on the way.
Hey,
bro.
man.
Get my hat out. Tell your uncle he better not be in my hat, bro. I'm on the way. You come
unhand me.
Tell Tia fire up that cast iron skillet. I'm en route.
That's a fact.
And this ain't a black man's 5 minutes. I'm on the way. I'm on the way. I'm pulling up. You dig? Like, so this sometimes that's what we all need, man. We all gotta change and relocate together. And we're so set in what things were and the comfortability of how things were. And we're not gonna be able to grow in what things could be, you dig? So when we start to heal, you're going to start realizing a lot of these things we talk about on the show will be counteracted through healing. You're not going to have to do a whole nother set of work. You ain't going to have to go find another therapist. You dig? Like, you're going to start realizing I can change my life. I can make a difference. I don't need all these people's advice and opinions either. Like, okay, maybe I've been taking too much advice. Maybe I've been taking too much help where I can help myself. Balance.
That's definitely a fact.
Wherever you're looking for in life, find balance, people. This has been a great one, man. We always go over because we be in it.
Hey, that means we had a good show.
100%, man. 100%. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all still know where to find us. Good Life Kickback. All podcast platforms. We got audio. We got video. We on YouTube. The website is downloading, ticking. It's your boy Good Life Russ.
It's your boy Good Life Twan. We signing out.
Peace, y'all.